Every evening, we bring you insights from top financial experts, decode the latest trend, answer your burning questions on saving, investing, spending, and everything in between. Because here on The Money Show, we believe one thing. You don't have to be a finance expert to take charge of your money. You just need the right advice. And today, on the show, let's begin with your financial queries. And just in case you also want to get your financial planning done on the show, you want advice or recommendations on your investment strategies or your investment instruments, do write us. Send across your question on our WhatsApp number and email ID that's flashing on the screen, and we will sort it out with our experts live on the show. And today, to do all of this, we have Nisreen Mamaji, our guest on the show, who will be answering all your portfolio-related queries. Nisreen, hi, evening, and welcome to the show. And let's begin. We will take Manish Gupta's question first, and he says that he's 36-year-old and currently doing SIP in 6 funds. He's got Parag Parikh Flexi Cap, 1,000 rupees, Canara Bank a small cap fund, Kotak Mid Cap, and large and mid cap, and he's also got HDFC Index Fund and ICICI Pru Large Cap, 1,000 rupees each fund, so that makes it 6,000 monthly. And the goal is to achieve 50 lakhs at the age of 50, and that is the requirement in terms of corpus. All right. So in terms of fund mix, definitely we would want your recommendation. But also one thing, he is 36 years old, and I don't know for what exactly he needs this money, 50 lakhs. But if it is something like a retirement or anything that's related to his traditional or a long-term goal, he also needs to figure out if the 50 lakhs corpus would be enough, at the age of 50 for him, because he's just 36, and that's a very long span of investment that he has to go through. And definitely he might need to step it up, or might be having other responsibilities in life or other different lifestyles in life. So we don't have the clarity on the goals front. But having said that, how can one rework and think about and align the right kind of goals?
Sure. Yeah, that's a very interesting question. Thank you for having me on the show, Kavita. And Manish, thank you for your query. So typically, you have a fairly higher exposure to large cap via the HDFC Index Fund, ICICI Prudential Large Cap, and the Kotak Large Cap. So there will be some amount of duplication in these funds. So what I suggest is that you can keep the HDFC Index Fund and stop the Kotak and the ICICI Large Cap funds. So in order to give you a slightly tighter portfolio and not so many funds, because you're investing 6,000 rupees per month, you can go for Parag Parikh Flexi Cap Fund for 2,000 rupees, Canara Robeco Small Cap for 2,000 rupees, and HDFC Index Nifty 50 for 2,000 rupees. So that way you have, the asset allocation is towards large cap, small cap, and flexi cap, which will be the mandate of the fund manager to decide the capitalization. So your 6,000 rupees is better balanced in this fashion. Your expected corpus, after 14 years, when you're age 50, will be around 26 lakhs if we calculate the compounded annualized growth rate at 12%, which would be a safe percentage to, forecast at. So what I would recommend is that you do a step-up SIP every year and increase your SIP by 13% annually, so that you can reach your target of a corpus of 50 lakhs in 14 years. Having said that, I think Kavita has indicated also very rightly that the corpus of 50 lakhs, after 14 years, will have the purchasing power of, today's value about 27, 28 lakhs. So you should be aware of that also, and maybe you can, maybe you have some other sources of income at that time, so that you can put all your, corpuses together and then maybe start your retirement planning, or you could extend your work life also in order to sustain yourself, post-retirement, which could be 25 to 30 years. So definitely what you need to do is review your portfolio very carefully every year to make sure that you are on track and the expected compounded annualized growth rate of 12% is being met. If it is underachieved, then you'll have to do a step up which is higher than 13% annually. So you have various choices: either increase the 14 years to about 20 years so that you have more time to build into the corpus, or you can, also realize the fact that 50 lakhs may not be enough to sustain you post-retirement.
Let's move on, Nisreen. Let's take Akash Soni's question. And he says that he's put some money in direct equity, 4 lakhs. And he's also got quant small cap. He's doing an SIP of 15,000 there, and in 10 years he wants to achieve 2 CR. So that's the corpus from overall equity investment, which includes direct stocks and mutual funds. As far as mutual funds are concerned, he's just got one, a quant small cap, and rest of it is indirect equity. So let's just focus on the mutual fund part, and let's just help him understand the way to diversify. And also one very important aspect, because a lot of investors do this, they have money in direct stocks and also in mutual funds, equity mutual funds. How over here there can be a case of duplication also. Okay, so you can just elaborate more on that.
Sure, sure. So, he's got a small cap fund, Akash, aapko, small caps, you've invested about 15,000. So, all the entire your mutual fund allocation is towards small caps. So, ye काफी risky hai. This is a slightly riskier kind of strategy that, आपने adopt की है. Plus, आपने 4 lakhs direct stocks में ली है. So, one doesn't know what kind of stocks that you have selected, whether you have selected, well-known names, large caps or small caps. सो यहाँ डाइवर्सिफिकेशन बहुत जरूरी है बिकॉज कभी भी मार्केट करेक्शन में आपकी नुकसान हो सकती है. सो आपके एक रीएलोकेशन हम सजेस्ट करते हैं आपको एटलीस्ट इन द म्यूचुअल फंड स्पेस कि स्मॉल कैप आप 5,000 रुपीज को डिक्रीज कीजिए 15,000 रुपीज से. आप इंट्रोड्यूस कीजिए HDFC फ्लेक्सी कैप 5,000 रुपीज एंड कोटक इमर्जिंग इक्विटी 5,000 रुपीज. तो यहाँ मैंने आपकी रिस्क टॉलरेंस काफी सेम रखी है. मिड कैप्स एंड स्मॉल कैप्स में आपको एक्सपोजर सजेस्ट की है. एंड HDFC फ्लेक्सी कैप डिस्क्रेशन ऑफ द फंड मैनेजर. कभी भी फ्लेक्सी कैप फंड में फंड मैनेजर डिसाइड करेंगे कौन सी कैपिटलाइजेशन में वो इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं. नाउ यहाँ ऑब्वियसली आपको जो स्टॉक्स आपने लिए हैं आपको ये तीनों फंड्स जो हमने रिकमेंड या सजेस्ट किए हैं आपको उसमें आपको थोड़ी स्टडी करके चेक करना चाहिए कि आपकी डुप्लीकेशन नहीं की है जो कविता ने अर्लियर मेंशन की. बिकॉज अदरवाइज फायदा नहीं होगा. आपने स्टॉक्स भी वही खरीदे हैं और म्यूचुअल फंड पोर्टफोलियो भी वही स्टॉक्स में है. तो डाइवर्सिफाई करना बहुत जरूरी है. ना आपकी जो SIP आपने आप 15,000 रुपीज की आप SIP इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो और आपकी जरूरत है और आपकी टारगेट कॉर्पस है 2 करोड़ रुपए. तो यहाँ आपकी सजेशन है कि आप SIP इंक्रीज कीजिए. आप 20,000 रुपीज SIP कीजिए और हर साल आप 22% इंक्रीज करेंगे तो ही आप 10 साल के बाद 2 करोड़ की जो आपकी टारगेट कॉर्पस है आपको मिलेगा. तो ये कैलकुलेशन है 12% कंपाउंडेड एनुअलाइज ग्रोथ रेट पे. सपोज आपकी ओवर अचीवमेंट हो 12% से ज्यादा हो तो फिर आप आपकी SIP स्टेप अप जो है डिक्रीज कर सकते हैं.
Nisreen, let's move on. Let's take Saurabh Yadav's question. He again says, okay, so he says that he's 33 years old, a government teacher, investing 30, he wants to invest for 30 years. SIP amount is 21,000. He'll be stepping at 5%. And Parag Parikh Flexi Cap, Nippon India Multi Cap, Edelweiss Mid Cap, Bandhan Small Cap. And right now the portfolio value is somewhere around 61,500. He wants to know how is the portfolio. And he started investing in this year, July. And he also has some amount in NPS, 34,500, 5% step up over there. And he's also mentioned his NPS corpus. Target total, in total the target is 15 CR. So very well diversified NPS. He's thought about investing also because he's a government teacher. But 33-year-old, not bad. And he's defined his goals pretty well.
Yeah, so actually very nice. Your portfolio is very well diversified, very growth oriented also. Your breakdown is about 30% in large caps, 40% mid caps, 20% small cap, and about 10% international. So here, the risk profile is moderately high to high. So please ensure that, your risk appetite is, as mentioned, moderately high to high. It's suitable for a 30-year horizon because you're only about, 30 years old, 33 years old right now. Make sure that you review regularly and rebalance every 2 to 3 years so that your small cap exposure doesn't exceed 25% of your portfolio, just to manage the diversification and the risk part of the portfolio. Now in Parag Parikh Flexi Cap, you've invested about 6,000 rupees. So that's excellent. It's diversified with global exposure and it's given a very consistent performance. So please continue that. Nippon India Multi-Cap, very good balanced exposure here also across large, mid and small. Please, you can continue that. Edelweiss Mid-Cap, very strong fund with a disciplined strategy, stable performance, good to continue. And Bandhan Small Cap 3,000 rupees. This is for the long term. It's slightly a higher risk fund, but you can keep the allocation around, say, 15%. So totally don't go more than 25% whenever you do your rebalancing in the small cap category. Now, in the projected corpus for mutual funds will be, assumed you're investing for 30 years and your compounded annualized growth rate is 12%. Plus, you do a 5% step up annually, which is recommended for all investors that you should be stepping up the SIP annually. So you will get about 6.5, 6.2 crores at 12% calculation in 30 years. And for the NPS part of the portfolio, you're investing about 34,500 per month. Here also you can do a 5% step up annually. And in case, we take a blended compounded annualized growth rate of 9.5%, which is because it's got an equity and debt mix. And here you can expect, say, about 7.8 crores. So totally you can expect, say, 40 to 15 crore, which is your desired, corpus at the end of 30 years. So it's likely that you can be meeting it, but make sure that, you keep on doing your reviews regularly and you keep your tier one in equity in NPS, and the rest will be in, make sure that it is in corporate bonds and G-Secs for the optimal growth. So in that, it's 75-25 ratio, which is an equity and debt combination for the NPS part. Also ensure that you keep an emergency fund because, you're young, you have a 30-year investing journey ahead of you. So you should keep about 6 months of expenses in a liquid or in a short-term term debt fund just to, manage any emergencies that might come in future. So make sure that you do that as well. Otherwise, I think you're, very lovely portfolio that you have put together for yourself, and all the very best in your investing journey.
All right, I think with that, it's time up on the show, Nisreen. But thank you so much for being on the show today and helping our viewers, move ahead in their financial journey with giving them the right kind of investment advice today on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure, totally.
And for all our viewers, I'm going to sign off, but I'm going to leave you with our WhatsApp number and email ID where you can keep sending us your portfolio queries, and our experts will guide you on the right path for your investment goals. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.